Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'll lead you step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4, and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best be prepared for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to press on with the next questions of the 2019 Practice Paper S. So if you turn with me to page 16, we'll continue with question 3. And so for question 3, we have a couple of parts to this question relating back to this little extract here. And we're asked to give the letter name to each of the notes marked with a star. Notice we're in the bass clef, so make sure we are reading bass clef notes. And just to help matters, they've given us the first note. So if you're in absolute dire need, you could always just count from this note given. And there is no key signature, bear in mind, so there's nothing going to trip us up there. So here we go. The bass clef in the spaces, all cows eat grass, or whatever little poem helps you to remember that, A-C-E-G. And the lines are good boys deserve football always, or green buses drive fast always, or whatever takes your fancy, just to help you to learn those notes. So this is a C. And again, if you were a bit stuck, you just count backwards from this one, E, D, C. And so now we're on the top line. So the lines, good boys deserve football always, so that's an A. Notice I'm always writing in capital letters. You use capital letters to name notes, and following their example as well sets that. So here we go, another line, good boys deserve football. And then here, now this one, they've actually given us that one. We know it's all cows eat, and they've given us that one there, so there's a free mark. Now this one, we have to count from something we're familiar with, so you can either think, well, there's middle C, because middle C is at the top of the bass, the bottom of the treble, as if it's meeting in the middle. So if that's middle C, that's B down a step. Alternatively, we've already worked out that this is A. Good boys deserve football always, A, and then one up from A is B. Carrying on. All cows eat grass, so that's G, all cows eat grass. And then back onto the lines, good boys deserve. And then here's middle C, we were just talking about that, referring to that for the B. So there we know that's middle C. If you weren't sure though, you could always just work out, good boys deserve football always. The top line is A, then it's B, then it's C. So there we go. Now a bit of observation here. How many bars contain a dotted crotchet or a dotted quarter note? That's a crotchet or a quarter note with a dot after it. So how many bars contain one of those? So we've got one here, not there, one here, not there, not there. That's a dotted minim, different note there. So just 2 bars. There we go. Pressing on. So now we have some questions to do with scales. They've actually written the scales for us in terms of putting the blobs in the right place. We've just now got to make them match the titles. We've been particularly asked to add the clef to make this so, not to use key signatures, and so we're going to have to bear in mind what the key signature would be and then add accidentals as appropriate. So just a bit of revision to get these key signatures comfortable. And so F major has a key signature of B flats. Now for F major to be correct, this must of course begin and end on an F. And for that to be the case, that must be bass clef, because the lines are good, boys dear, so G, one below G is F. If you put the treble clef there, that would be incorrect, because that would make that note a D. So now then, we just need to add the B flat. Now if it is that you're not comfortable reading bass clef, you could always just sort of sketch out the letter names with stepping upwards, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. You know you've got to begin on F. There's our B. We need a flat. Remember, the flat comes before the note because you need to know before you play it. Unlike when you're writing it in words and you say B flat, in note you have to write flat B because we need to know before we play that note. So next one, D major of course must begin and end on a D, and all the notes in between will then follow. So this must be treble clef, every good boy deserves. So this must be treble clef. If you didn't do that, if you put bass clef, that would be a note F, that would be incorrect. Now the key signature for D major is F sharps and C sharps, and so we just need to now pop those in as accidentals. So again, if you're not sure, you could just sketch out the letter names. This time we're going in reverse there because the scale is descending, so D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. So we need the F sharp before the note and the C sharp before the note. There we go, so that's completed those. So if you just take things one step at a time and deal with things in a methodical manner, you don't get too overwhelmed and you soon get the questions answered. Let's press on to the next question. So in question 5, we're asked to name these melodic intervals. Melodic intervals as in they come one after another, like a melody, as opposed to coming one on top of each other like a chord or a harmony. That's a harmonic interval. So melodic intervals we've got here. The principle's the same though. You're counting from the lowest note up, you're counting the steps between these notes. The important thing is to make sure you always count the given lowest note as number 1. So you're counting the line, space line 1, 2, 3, always counting number 1. We're in G major, so we can double check ourselves by just sketching out the steps of the scale. Of course it's F sharps because of the key signature, but your key signature will deal with that, making that G major. So steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we can see, let's count this out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. And we're on Every Good Boy Deserves Football, and the treble clef F is indeed the 7th, so we know we've not gone wrong. Now we're dropping into the bass, so we're counting this low G as number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's the 6th. And you can double check that, it's all cows eat, E is the 6th, that's correct. So still in the bass clef, but we're starting on a higher G. 1, 2, 3, space line space, that's a 3rd. G, A, B, that's the B below middle C, is a 3rd, so that's correct. So back into the treble, counting here, we've got next door notes, 1, 2. And you can see how if you've miscounted, not given this your first note as number 1, you would then go 1. And it's not possible to have a distance of a first. So 1, 2 is a 2nd. The spaces spell face, F-A-C-E, so A is the 2nd, so we can double check that. Now then, G in the bass clef, 1, 2, 3, 4, line space is a 4th. The spaces in the bass clef are all cows eat grass, a C, and C is the 4th, so that's correct. And then last one, back into the treble. Now here we can double check this a couple of ways. Let's count it first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's an 8th, or you would say octave, either will do. We've gone from Every Good Boy Deserves Football, F, G. So that's note G, and we can see we've gone the full 8 steps of the octave. And this note here that we were given is in the treble clef, starting on exactly the same note. That's the 7th, so surely the next door note after that will be the 8th. So a couple of double checks there. And that's the end of that question. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please do share out the videos. And please also do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.